Our next question, what according to you are the main themes or crux of subclass 1?
Subclass 1, let's say we are now in this homeopathic group, no? Suddenly somebody from software engineering comes and sits and attends to my lecture. What will happen to him? He'll be completely confused. Because he doesn't know what is happening. Or I'll make you close your eyes and put you in some space machine or some machine where you suddenly go and land up in the middle of some Africa. Probably that continent, I believe you may not know so well. So you're in the middle of Africa. You don't know what is happening. Correct? So first of all, you have to know that plant kingdom is all these stages of development are stages of ego development. So we start from something which is very diffuse. Any new idea, when you start this new idea, there is a lot of confusion. You even don't want to handle it, don't want to deal with it. So think of a soul which is coming onto this world. What is the experience of that soul? Lost, confused. Where am I? I'm not grounded. So you are formless. Your ego is not developed. You don't have any structure. You don't have any form. You're like a cloud. Shapeless. Okay? As you go further, you get more and more defined. And that is why if you'll see, the earlier stages will have a lot of hand gestures because they don't even have words to describe what they are experiencing. As you go to the right-hand side, everything is clear cut. They don't even have to move their hands. They will talk. You'll see less hand gestures there. So we are moving from a completely experiential state, formless state. So first subclass is like, you put clay, if you're a potter, and on the wheel you put clay. Do you know what that clay is going to be? It's just a lump of clay. So what will the potter do? First, make it firm. Look at my hand gesture, all of you. Make it firm and make it grounded on the wheel properly. So that when the wheel will turn, you'll be able to give it the shape. So the first subclass, the main gesture is, how do I become a little more centered and grounded? These two, centered, grounded, centered, grounded. This is the essence. So you want to get grounded. It is like you're coming from some ethereal space. We have these different elements, no? We have the earth element, then the water, then the fire, then the air, then ether, and then nothing. So you're coming from that ethereal space. So you are not here. You don't belong here. These are the people, very often I've seen them talking with their eyes looking up, they will talk like that, as if they are still in the clouds. They look up and talk. And I had done this one seminar where I had done a lot of cases from the first subclass. And one after another, when you saw them doing that, it was so funny. And all of them talking with their hands because they don't have language, because they are still in the experiential. So they talk with their hands. Sometimes they even, before they can talk, they will make hand gestures. So first of all, there will be many hand gestures, but the main two is how to be centered, because they are vague, like a cloud, no? Vague. So they need to be centered and grounded. So they are not grounded. Okay? So they are coming from some other realm. Is the soul entering into this world? So one thing is they are in unity. Now, what is unity? Ego means sense of separateness. And I told you this whole stages of development are stages of ego development. So there is no ego. Ego is very weak. The sense of I is very less. So as soon as the I comes, then you come. But when there is no I, there is no you. It is oneness. That is why they are very empathic. They feel for others, especially Renanculaceae. All of them, but they experience this oneness in a very different way. For example, Magnolia, they are completely lost. Completely lost in the well-known street. Well-known street, you're going on that street every day, still you don't know it is the street on which you're walking. Can you imagine? Where are you? You are somewhere in some cloud. I had this patient who was living in Canada. And then he came to India. So what happened? First of all, the time zone changed. Time changed and the space changed. So he came to a different, almost from day to night and from Canada to India. He came here and he went to sleep. And he slept for a week, 2 weeks. Parents could not just wake him up. And he did very well with Nux moschata. Because even what brings us into this existence is the matrix of time and space. So even the matrix of time and space is so weak that a little shift in time, we all travel, no? Maybe little jet lag here and there, but for him, even that structure is so weak that you just go to sleep. What is sleep? You're not here. You're in some other world. You go out into some other world. You don't be here. You can't deal with it. You escape. It's too much to deal. Change of time and change of space. Can you imagine? So the first subclass is also to do with trifles. Even trifles will affect you. Small things. As you go into the sixth subclass, you're thinking about the world. You're thinking about what's happening to Donald Trump in America. You're thinking about what is Ukraine, what is Putin and Zelensky thinking about, how it is affecting. What about the fuel prices? What about the whole bank system which is collapsing? You are thinking of big things. You're not thinking about, did I keep my pen here? Oh, where are my shoes? You see, your focus widens. You have more resources. You can deal with more. So this is another way of knowing how much you can deal with life. If you're only dealing with trifles seem important, that means you're in the first subclass. Also, you're in the first subclass because, let us see it from the developmental perspective. Yaki talks about evolutionary steps. So she will be talking about, those yesterday, some years before when we came into and how the plants came. She talks about evolution. Let's see it from the development. So this is the time of embryogenesis. So when the soul just enters, so there is only multiplication of the cells. You cannot even say this is kidney, this is the liver, this is the brain developing, these are the eyes. You can't see anything. It's just mass of cells. And this is in the first 4 months of the baby. So there is no differentiation. That is why you'll see, in Berberidaceae, there is wanderings. The movement is wandering. If you go to an allopathy saying you are feigning, because she will say, I'm paining here, then suddenly it goes here. And then it comes on my knee. The doctor will say, are you crazy? You're making a fool of me. But it is true. Because the body doesn't know. It's all one. It can go anywhere, anywhere. Yet, there is nothing like this organ. So even your body is not differentiated. Even within you, inside you. That is why Renanculaceae has a lot of psychosomatic problems. You have some stress and suddenly it affects your stomach. Or you get a headache. It's like stress straight goes into your head. Most of us will say, no, I'm feeling stress. It remains in our mind. But in Renanculaceae, it's not true. So, trifles are important. Oneness is there. No differentiation. Very poor ego development. And this whole thing of I'm not centered, I'm not grounded. Nymphalis is a transitory stage. Nymphalis is still not here. So they are into the spiritual, more into the spiritual, into the purity. They feel coming into this world also is impure. It is the beginning. It is the beginning of our generation of plants. It is the beginning of our, it is like we as civilization is the beginning. And even again in the ancient philosophy, if you'll see, if you'll think of Vishnu, and then in his navel is from where the beginning of life is. You see a stem and a lotus, and in the lotus you see Brahma, who's the creator. So the creator begins with lotus. So even ancient Hindus knew that the creation began with lotus. Okay, so it is the nymphalis. As you come down, then you will see that they are getting more differentiated. So then when you come to Piper AC is going to feel, it is like, now you are going to taste life. It is the infant. So the whole experience of the first subclasses is in the oral. Here you have a lot of spices, the peppers. You want to taste life. You're like a child who wants excitement, pleasure. According to the chakras, it is the second chakra, which has to do with the water element, and it has to do with enjoyment. So Piper AC wants to enjoy life, wants to taste life. It's like suddenly from here, you are transported to Las Vegas. Then I want to see this, I want to see this. Oh, this I've heard is very nice. This is nice. Then you can't, excitement. You want to do this. You don't want to sit. You'll not go to Las Vegas and say, no, I'm not coming out. I've never been there before, but it's okay. I'll just sit in the room and I'm going back home. No, you want to go out and you want to explore. You want to see. It's so boring to sit in your hotel room. So that, enjoyment, to taste, take in everything. And how do you take in? Through your five senses. So Piper AC has to do with five senses. You eat pepper and it opens up your it opens up all your senses. It is the five senses. You receive the world through your senses. So that is the first experience of receiving the world. And then comes the Loralis. Loralis is the toddler. He says, I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge of my life. So what is the issue of his life? I'm too diffuse, but I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. I want to control this. I want to hold myself. I want to hold myself. And the biggest fear of camphor is, if I lose my control is a word of the toddler, I'll become one with universe, like hydrogen. So the main dilemma of camphor is, I have to hold on. Otherwise, I'll become part of the world, part of the universe. Because he's just come down and now he wants to hold himself. This is the stage of ego development, the toddler stage. So you see first I coming in. I want to make myself. I want to keep myself. I want to hold on. Like how a baby who's a toddler wants to hold on to his bowels. He wants to control his bowels. He wants to be in charge of the situation. He doesn't want to pass his urine and stools whenever it naturally comes. I am in charge. So he wants to in charge. He wants to hold his sense of I, but it is so brittle in the first subclass that it can become lost. And then you come to Renanculaceae. Renanculaceae is school age. So it is all to do about me and the other. So now the focus of that first subclass is on me and the other. So what is the feeling? There is so much of oneness that there is blurring of separateness between me and other. And that is why Renanculaceae, the main feeling is, I have very thin skin. What will he come and say? Make me little elephant skin. Make me thick skin, doctor. I am feeling everything. Everything comes in. Like Staphylococcus aureus, Aconite, Pulsatilla, Clematis, Simicifuga. Everything comes in. Ranunculus bulbosus, Hydrastis. All of them are very sensitive. And they feel my borders are not. And that is why they are very irritable. They are very irritable. because everything is coming in. They are bombarded with all the inputs from outside, because now the whole feeling is me and outside. So the outside and me are so much together that they need to calm themselves. Very often they resort to alcohol because that gives a calming effect. So by the time you're coming down, you see Toddler has little eye. Ranunculus has made a little bit of skin around him. By the time you come down to Pepperberry, you fight your problem, because adult fights. Adult is the fire element, fights. So what you do is, I'm too sensitive. I fight it and I block myself completely. So now that thin skin becomes a hard shell around you. You are completely encapsulated. You don't feel anything. So from pain, you become painless. From being very sensitive, you become completely insensitive. But is this good way of dealing and being in life? I'll say the main idea of plant is to feel. What was the problem with mineral kingdom? Mineral kingdom cannot feel. It cannot feel. So what was the evolutioner? Now I feel things. Now I'm connecting with the world out. Now I have an interaction. But in the first subclass, that interaction is too much. So you make a wall around you and you don't feel. So the whole purpose of the plant is not there. If you're going to feel as if you're completely like a dead person inside, you're no pain, but no sensation, no feeling. So something dramatically has to change. This whole procedure of grounding yourself and centering yourself has been taken to a very big extent where it is now counterproductive. That is the beginning of second subclass, which probably Preeti and all will teach you. I want to come out, but yet feel safe. So this is that dilemma. How much in and how much out? That begins our second subclass.